guys, this is Libby, otherwise known as Silverlief, and today we're doing a very quick detour from yesterday's video where we did the Traveller's Journal. And, well, we're kind of doing something very similar, unintentionally so, because I couldn't find paper that I wanted to use. Making a gift for a co-worker's husband. So I'm going to make him a book, that's my go-to, for obvious reasons. It's not going to be a junk journal. I mean, other than the fact that I'm using map again for the cover. The inside is all just going to be, I'm thinking maybe my bullet journal paper. It's going to have one signature, and the signature is going to be sewn directly in, like through the cover. So it is a little bit different from yesterday, but not hugely. So I already cut down my pieces. Again, same as yesterday, 5 3/4 by 9, because again, I'm going to be doing 5.5 by 8.5 paper inside, and that gives just a 1/4 inch all the way around minus this side. You don't want it on this side, otherwise this is going to be in 1/2 inch. So to begin with, I have some wet glue. My oversized glue brush, which you guys didn't see last time because I lost my computer died and I lost the footage. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these pieces down. Then I'm going to miter the edges, fold it all in, and it's all going to be like one piece here. Then I'll cover the spine, the inside pages, you know, all of that, and then we'll construct it together. I haven't decided what I'm covering the spine with yet. I think it would be, I mean, I could use this stuff again, the book repair tape. Sorry, this is just here to keep it from unrolling. I could use this again, but is that too similar to yesterday's? I don't know. But I'll figure it out. But I definitely need to cover this spine area. Yes. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to just start out with, and this is just white PVA glue. Nothing crazy. It's not that runny. It's quite thick, but I don't use a lot of it. So just dipping the corner in. We'll varnish this too before we put in the pages. Sorry, it's very hot here today. If you can hear, I have a little air purifier in the background. If you can hear that going, I apologize. And if I'm a little bit slow today, the heat exasperates my fibromyalgia, and it makes me very foggy, brain foggy. But I really wanted to do this. I mean, I have a few days. I'm not going to see this co-worker until Saturday, I think. But I just want to get it done. That way I don't forget. So yeah, nice thin layer, thin and even layer of glue. You don't want it heavy. You know, you want everything covered, but you don't want it like slick. And then I'm just going to, I need just enough space to turn it over neatly at the edges. I'm just moving it down a little bit, trying to just make it even. Okay, do the same on this side. Maybe do this. I'll do the spine next. Oh. Yeah, as I say, this is just regular. I actually think it's from Amazon. I got a big jug of it and decanted it for when I was in bookbinding class. That way everybody could have their own. I'm just eyeballing the distance between. You don't want it too big, but you want it enough that this can fold in. I have a tool for this. Well, a set of tools. You know, they have the pages and stuff, but I can't always be bothered with that. I'm not going to lie. one. And I'm going to show most of the process. I mean, I'll pause to get together the pages for the signature and stuff like that, but for the most part, I'll just show it because I've done this sort of thing so many times before. It's not like yesterday where I was guessing at a lot of things. Okay. And I just want to make it roughly the same as the other distance. Turn it over. I'm going to just use my bone folder to flatten everything out. I'm being wary that I don't shift any of this whilst I'm doing it, so I'm going to check over and just make sure. What I'm going to do is when it's dried a bit more so it's not moving, I'm going to go into this groove here just to really cement it. The spine for this one yesterday it was 1.5. This one's just 1. As I said, I'm only doing 1 signature. It can be a bit of a thicker signature because I'm not going to be adding stuff into it other than like a pocket on the front and back. But yeah, there we go. Now, I'm going to snip these corners. I'm going to use book corners for this. I'm not going to make my own. I could do it, but I just feel like I just did that yesterday. Not that I mind. I really like the look of it with the book tape. But I don't know. I guess it depends on if I decide to use it for the spine or not. Just mitering the edges so that when I fold it over, it's nice and neat. And then same thing. This is all going to be stuck down underneath another piece of paper over the top. So I'm not too worried about using my glitter glue for this part. You can, because it's obviously the stronger glue. But I don't use a ton of glue, so it shouldn't be a pain for it to dry. That's all. Sometimes the issue with not using the art glitter glue is it can take a while to dry otherwise. But I don't use a lot of glue, so it tends to dry fast anyway. Okay. Most people do the opposite ends. I've just started doing that because it's what most people do. I never used to. I didn't care, but I think it does make for a neater finish if you're not covering the corners. Maybe that's why they do it. I don't know. Then I have some scrapbook paper that I'm going to be using on the inside cover. I don't think it's going to fully cover, no. So I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces, and that's why I need to strip down the middle. Other 2. I'm going to do the corners once I finish the full cover. I'm going to varnish the cover and stuff just to let it hold up a bit stronger over time. I only recently started doing that, and it's much better. So if you have varnish, I recommend doing that. I've done it in the past, but the varnish I used in the past I didn't like, and it stayed tacky. So I invested in some Liquitex, and that seems to be doing a much better job. It's not tacky, and it ends up with a nice texture at the end, I find. Okay. Oh, I accidentally got some glue on the cover, but that's okay. On the back cover. Let me grab Well, you're not what I wanted, but you'll do. And this way, I'm also showing you the process of how I did the other cover, minus the fact that I wrapped them individually, these boards, with the other, because of the way that I wanted to sew in the signatures. But, you know, you don't have to, because with this, I can sew in the signatures and then still cover the spine. I don't know, there's 1,000 different ways to do the same thing and achieve the same result, so whatever works best. I think. Or whatever I feel like on the day. I cut that a little off in the corner so it's not completely neat, but since I'm going to be adding book corners anyway, it's fine. But I'm going to finish covering the inside and stuff before I touch the corners. If I was doing it with the book tape like I did yesterday, I'd do that now just so I can cover it up neatly, but I'm not. So. Alright, so there's the base of the book. I'm just going to go in a second time and just, as they emphasize these points. Oh, sweating. So now I'm going to do these parts. I'm going to turn it over, but I want this at the bottom, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Why I was doing it the other way. I mean. So I want. That's where the fold is, so about there. And I'm just off camera this way using my cutting. Oh, sorry, that's not. Oh, go away. It was on the cutting board. Probably not where it should be. But... Bringing this back in. That way I can. Second time. And it's ended up being about just a notch over 5.5. By just a bit over. That's like 8 and 3/4 tall. So it's gonna go here, and here. Oh, wrong way. Hold on. Right way up. Yes. So here and here, and then in the middle, I think I will use this tape, and I might go all the way around, you know, through the spine, and then all the way around. But we'll put this on first. Yes, I know this is a comically large paintbrush for the glue, but it's what I had. And I liked using it the other day, so. Where are my glue pages? I need to find a way to get some big glue pages. Maybe like old paper bags or something. We get a lot of those coming through the house now that plastic was banned. Down here. Alright. As I say, I want the darker blue at the bottom. I want it to have like that watery feel. Oh, you do not want to move right now. That. Yep. What you can do to make sure that your pages will still move even after you put wet glue on is use your glue stick first. Like, and then put your glue on top. I'm just going to do this corner. You can't see it, sorry. This corner didn't stay down, so I'm just going to use my art glitter glue there. Checking everywhere else seems fine. Doesn't matter, you see here, it's not all the way up to the edge. It's fine because we're going to cover it with the tapes. I hope everybody's okay. It's really hot here today. Well, it's not necessarily that it's hot, it's very muggy. I feel like there's a storm coming. My husband said there is, so. But you know when you can feel it in the air? You're like, okay, we need a storm to break up this heat and humidity. Yeah, that's where it's at. I spent the afternoon napping because my body was just like, we're out. We can't handle this. Not fun, but it's my day off, so I could afford to do that. Again. Just taking my time with it because I don't want it crooked. That will do. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to come along already. It doesn't take long. What, this has been 17 minutes? I mean, it helps that I already had the pieces cut, but... Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to put the tape along the middle, but I'm going to extend it much further out, that way I can wrap it around. I'm just going to measure. Oh, well, I just lost the tape name, but that's fine. I'm going to close that back up so it doesn't keep unraveling on me. All right. Oh, sorry, I'm trying not to die here. It's probably very dramatic to say. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to line it up as best I can straight on here. Sorry, I'm just trying to... It's always hard to get the first corner going. Now what I'm actually going to do, and I need to grab some tape. I'm just going to tape it down on the thing so it's nice and straight. Grabbing a random tape that I have on hand. So I'm going to put it here. In the middle of a spot. So I'm going to say about there. Take that down. I will if it will stay down. Okay, and then I'm just gonna slowly, carefully, that washi tape I used is not working well, but that's okay. Just lining it up so that it's in between the second dots on here. If you can't see that, I apologize, but it's the way that I'm going to do it right now. And then I'm going to do my best to center. It worked at the top, it did not work at the bottom. Sorry, fussy. No, that'll do. Not perfect at the bottom, but it'll do. I've left this on so it doesn't get stuck onto anything else. And here at the bottom, I'm going to add a little bit of art glitter glue just to lock it in. I know it is tacky, but I just did a cross, if you can see where the light is on here. That's just to lock it in. And now I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to do my very best to keep it straight and line it up here at the end. I'm going to put pockets at the bottom here so I don't mind about this bit here. For whatever reason, the very ends of this tape get a bit squiffy. I don't know if that's something that I'm doing or something just to do with the tape. Okay. We work around these things. Have that. Have that, and the important part is it's very neat up here at the top, and it's neat on this side. Gently turn it, and look, even the ends are nice and neat. I actually really like how that came out. Very much like that. Okay. So, brain, where are we at here? I want to varnish the outside and the inside of this before I sew in any signatures. Which does mean I don't think I'm going to be able to sew in the signatures today. I'm going to have to let it set for a bit first. But that's okay, because we can work on the other book for a bit and then pull this back out tomorrow. So what I want to do is I'm just going to tape off this little bit here with my, wherever I just put my washi tape. Just on the very edge here. Because I don't trust myself not to get varnish on this fabric. I probably could have varnished first, but I didn't. Whatever. I'm going to do the outside first and then the inside. This is the part of bookbinding I'm not very good with, is getting the order of operations correct, if you haven't noticed. I can when it's something I've done a bunch of times before. As I say, the varnish is new to me. So. I just have matte varnish by Liquitex, and I just pour a little bit of it on my brush. Again, I don't want to be heavy-handed with this. I usually do 2 coats, and I'll do the edges too, and obviously the inside, but we're going to hold off on the inside until the outside is dried off a little bit. I have like a painting drying rack that you use for like kids at school. I have one of those for when I make my own paper, and I'll just set it off on there to dry when I'm done. Those edges. That way I can take off the tape. I don't want the tape to stay there because if there's any of the varnish on it and it dries, it'll keep the tape stuck a bit more. Pop it over there for a second because I don't need a lot on the edges. Just a little bit there. Trying to make all of my strokes go in a consistent way when I'm done with it. Okay, so that's one side. Take off that tape, and I'm just setting it to one side because I can reuse that tape. This side. I should get a little bowl to put my varnish in, but I don't want to waste it. And, you know, stuff like that's not cheap. I would much rather put it on my brush and know that I'm using up every drop that I use. Yes, darling. Hello? I love you too, darling. Sorry, that was my husband. It's going to get the top and the bottom so that I can take this tape off. I'll get the side after. There goes the tape. Up, down. Sorry, I just needed some so that I can get this edge done. Okay. Yeah, this dries fast. I like that. So I'm just going to set it aside for a minute. Oh no, I have a piece of bread on here. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to set it aside for a minute just so it can dry. Pause and start gathering up the paper. And then once I'm done with the paper, that should be dry enough for me to do the inside. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm here. I'm just going to start folding paper. Feel free to skip ahead if that's not for you, but I'm not going to do a tight crease here, just enough to fold it, because I'm going to be obviously stacking these together, but I don't like doing them all at once. I need to figure out what I want to make pockets out of. I don't really have much masculine style paper. I think it's hard to find that sometimes with scrapbooking paper and stuff. That's why I pulled out the map. But I'm sure I can find something that will be nice. I don't know how many pages I'm doing, by the way. However many I feel comfortable sewing through, I guess. Get back. So I work tomorrow, but I'm still going to try and do a video. See how I'm feeling after. What here? 8. Might do 15. That'll give 60 pages. Was I at all counting there? No. I'm going to see how 15 looks when I stack them together. I think 20 is my limit. I don't think I'm going to go higher than 20. 13. The problem with stacking too many is they start to come out the other end. Like this side, then staggered. Oh, Libby. Sorry, my brain fog is very bad today. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 more. See how this looks all stacked together. It's too much, it's too much. But I don't want to do a second signature in this one, if I can avoid it. Probably could have done a much thinner spine, but I didn't. Like that. Yes, the only problem is this bit here. You can see it stretches it out quite far. So I'm going to try and knock it as far into this corner as I can. Which ruler for. Okay. Check the actual size of this now. Yeah, so I'm going to need to trim down this bit here. I'm not the best at this, so I'm a little bit nervous. But I don't think all of this is going to fit in my paper trimmer. I'm going to try it in my paper trimmer, though. I have a heavy-duty one. It should be able to manage it, because it can do it like 32 sheets. And this folded is 30 sheets. But this is heavier paper than, like, copy paper. But all I can do is try, right? Just going to make sure that everything is nice and tightly in there. Oh, it won't fit. Okay, cool. Then I want it at 5, and I'm just lining it up on my cutting board. And then it's a sliding one, so I'm just going to slide it back and forth a few times. There we go. Nice and neat on the end. I'm just going to go through and make sure there's nothing else. Sometimes there's little stragglers sticking out, but honestly, that looks good. Leaves me with a whole bunch of little teeny tiny. See, it wasn't a lot that had to come off, but it doesn't look like a lot in my hand, but it was looking funny over here, so. Yeah. Alright. So, with that in mind, set that aside. The outside of this, yep, is now dry. I'm just going to quickly do the inside. Same deal. Take off this part. Where did I put that other piece of tape? Oh, side. Yeah, I'm definitely going to save this tape. Because it's one of my favorite rolls. I didn't realize when I reached for it. I already did the edges. I just have to go up to the ends of this. Nice. Nope, not you. You. I'm just sticking it on the edge of my desk. I'll find a use for it. I like how the varnish finishes off the paper. It gives it like a nice warm gloss. And obviously it's protecting. Does that too. Not rest that on the booklet. Alright. Again, I'm setting this to the side. And now I'm going to go back to the paper pack that I was using for the inside pages. It's this one by Park Lane. I don't know if Park Lane's a thing anymore. Was that the Joanne's brand? Calm and Cool. It's got like coral and stuff in it. But some of the pages are very masculine in my opinion. They have nautical vibes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I like these pages. You got what I was looking for. So I'm going to make my pockets out of this. And I'm going to do them... I'll do the 5 3/4, like the... No, just under 5 3/4, just like the width of the cards of the chipboard that I used. And then maybe like 3 high. How high is this little bit here? Yeah, so 3 centimeters will cover the little issues at the bottom of this. And I want the stripes going up and down. Portrait, whatever. Vertical. Don't ask me. So I'm just going to do the 3 first. 3 inches. Sorry, my trimmer is big, so it's not something that I can just pull in and out of shot. By doing just a couple of notches under 5 3/4. I'll do the same with this one. A couple of notches under. The same. Doesn't matter because they're going on opposite sides. Okay, so just nice little tuck pockets. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Save that for later. This is already dry. That's how hot it is in here. Just gonna go. Oh, I should have done it a little bit smaller, shouldn't I? Let's see here. I like to go from this edge to the second out there. There's one. And somewhere over here. I should have just done it this way in the first place, but I didn't. Just inside of it. And again, the purpose of this is just to cover up little mishaps in the. That's going to bother me. No, that's fine. And you're not going to see both of these at the same time anyway, so. Do I want a notch? Yes. Let me grab a circle point, which is somewhere underneath my desk. Nope, not the world's smallest circle punch slip. Where? Near you. One. Two. My trusty dusty ink, which my favorite is walnut stain. I have all like the vintage photos and stuff like that. No, walnut stain for me. I like the darker. I don't like the. I mean, I love orange. It's probably my favorite color. I'm wearing orange right now. But I don't like the orangey tone of like vintage photo and stuff. I know it has its purpose, but not for me. One. Two. And then with this, I'm going to use my art glitter glue because it's such a small point that you can do a nice thin line. Nice and thin. It means you have more space in the pocket. I probably, with this one, could have added gussets, but I didn't. Just because of how big the spine is, I could have afforded to do that. But. It's okay. Any excess blue. Thankfully, art glitter glue dries nice and clear. One. Two. Nope. There we go. Nice and neat. Very much like that. Feel good enough to start throwing in some signatures? Yep. Have you? I need to find the middle of this. How do I keep losing my Ruler. I might have another one. So just 1/2 inch in. Just going to very gently mark it. Probably shouldn't even use that. I can do it lower down actually. And sorry, I'm using the width of the ruler as a guide for how far down from the top to start this up. There and there, and then I need in the middle of this. So that is about 6 1/4. I'm just gonna do 3 and a little bit. Doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. That's how I'm gonna do it. Then right height you are. Waist not, want not, lib. I'm just gonna turn this into quick paper pattern. There and there, yep. Ooh. Turn it inside out so that we can have. Oh. Can you please hold? Thank you. And then do my holes. Those lines line up. And then I just put this in the middle of my signature to nice and lined up. Okay. And I have a piece of polystyrene. I don't think it's actually polystyrene. It's like foam that came in a furniture package or whatever. Okay, nice and neat. Now I need I think I want it contrasting for this one with the spine. So I'm going to go for a different color. Maybe white to tie in some of the white up here. Yeah, I'll go with that one. I forgot to do the holes on this, so. Second. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to poke back through, but from this side to get the fabric back inside. It neatens up that hole. I don't need too much, but I always do extra because it's just one single signature. So one signature and a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So, I'm going to leave a tail on the inside so I can tie it off at the end. So just in through the middle, because I want it to end on the inside. So from the inside out, then we go down, bottom, in. This is like the easiest way to sew in a signature. And because I'm not going to be embellishing it heavily like I am the other one, I'm happy to do just a 3-hole. Not going to be too much strain on the spine, at least not by me. If the guy I'm making it for decides to abuse it, that's on him. Then what you want to do is when you go back through the middle, you want to do your best not to puncture the previous thread. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to pull it tight. So tighten it nicely, but not so much that you're like ripping paper. But you want it nice and stable in there. There's a bit of give there, so I'm just going to put it just a little bit tighter. And then I'm going to put this on the other side of the middle line. The previous one. So they're on either side of this middle. Snip. And just double knot. Sometimes I'll triple knot, but that's because I'm paranoid about things falling apart. You know what? I'm just going to triple knot it. It's fine. 3. Now what I can do is have like a dangle of some sort on here, and I do have some nautical ones. Yeah, the spine is definitely much bigger than it needs to be for this, but it's okay. I didn't think about it when I was cutting the spine. I've got some gunky bits on this cover, but okay. Very nice, very neat. I'm going to add a plate on the front, but I think I'm going to do it out of paper, not metal, because I don't want it to go through here. And then I'm going to add the corners and add in just a little note in here. But for now, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to grab the corners so I can put those on real fast, and then we'll end it here so I can add those extra bits myself. Okay, I'm back. I have my book corners. I also have my box of bits that I've cut out from like what they called, scrapbook papers and stuff. You know, these little bits. I'm gonna look through that and see if I can find something that will work as a book plate. There's all sorts in here. Most of them are like cards to write on, which I'll probably add one into the pocket at the front. But some of them are good for the front covers too. Especially if I can find some. I have one that's like a fantasy kind of thing. Those ones were really good. Something like that. Yeah, the pack that these ones came from, love it. But I don't have a ton of those because, well, I use them all, to be honest. Could also use this and add my, like, an extra thing on top. This is something that I made ages ago when I was making stick-bound books. They're fun. I'll show you guys how I do those one day. Do I have anything in here? I can see. Do we have anything blank in here? But these are the sort of things that I'm talking about. These cutout pages. No, not really. That's fine. I think we'll go with this. I'm not going to round the edges because the inner frame is square, but I will ink it. I love the spacey ones, which is what this is. I think it goes well with a nautical theme. So we'll do this first. All over me. This doesn't have an up or a down. Sorry, Finland, I think you're getting covered up. I think it may be about here. And I think because this has like that brassy gold shine, I'm going to go for something similar with my book corners. I have a whole bunch in here. Oh, I have some of them still bagged up too. If these smaller ones will fit on, I'll use them because I think that they will work better with this. It just depends on how thick the corners got. They're just little guys. Will you fit on? Can I make you fit on? Yes, you will. I like that. I like that. Oh, won't come off now. That was too snug. Well, you know what? I'm not too worried then. Sometimes these things don't want to stay on. But if this one wants to, I'm not going to stop it. I had my pliers on hand already, but... Oh, I love that. Sometimes I go too thick with the paper and stuff, and especially when I'm using leather, I really can't use these with leather. Not the smaller ones anyway. Very nice. They don't have to be huge, but they do their job. Ties in some of that brassy gold. Okay. Anything else that I wanted to do with you before I go off and finish this? Yes. Charm. 1 second. Okay, so here's my lovely box of charms. Well, I have way more than what's in here, but the ones in here are my frequents. So my animal charms and dragon charms. Moths, I like giving moths, and then birds, and this is my sea one, which I'm hoping has more than just sea animals. Whereas, did I pull out the wrong one? They definitely have one with like anchors and stuff. I pulled out the wrong one. That's okay. 1 second. Oh, please. Just casually grab out my other set. I just recently reorganized these, so let's see what we got. Christmas. Flowers. This is where I was trying to organize my little beads. Yeah, it didn't work so well. Moon. Space. Hello, where's my nautical one? I should label these things, eh? Handmade tokens. There we go. See? Knew I had it. See what we have in here. Maybe an anchor. Oh, I actually, nope. I think I want this guy. But I do want that guy. Love that. That was easy. I mean, it took longer to find the stuff than it did to pick one out. Nice compass. I think that fits. Because it's not necessarily nautical, but the compass fits with the map theme. And what I'm just going to do is tie this on to the string at the bottom. Nothing crazy, I'm literally just going to knot it on. I'd go a bit more overboard, but I think simple works best with this kind of thing, rather than adding a ton of beads and stuff. Next to that excess. Oh, you can't see me doing that, sorry. So here we go. A nice little compass that hangs out at the bottom. Nice and neat. I might add a little something here to the back. Haven't decided yet. But what I definitely want to do is fill in and add a little plate for him on the inside that I can write something on. But that's the journal done. Yeah, I really like it. If I show you this next to... Uh-oh, what did I do with it? If I show you next to something that doesn't currently exist, this book, the one that we're working on, you know, it's very similar in style, but it's not the exact same. And this one's going to have a lot more done to it. This is, I asked my husband to pick out whoever he wants the book to be about. He went through all of my different pictures and picked this one from Tim Holtz. So that's the other book. This one, I'm gonna finish this now myself, just because, you know, personal things in here that don't need to go on the internet, I guess. I mean, all it's gonna say is happy birthday and whatnot, but still. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this process. As I say, I'm just gonna fill in the few pockets and add a little something here. I usually do it like who it's for, when it was done, and then in the back I add a smaller one that says who it's made by. So that's it. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a lovely evening. We should be back tomorrow with more of our journal. Have a great night. Goodbye.